Hi, William. Division 16 LTG Alex Rankin here with a voice acting and character building workshop here to help you find your voice through the voices of others. Now, when we get into character building and voice acting, there's three basic steps to this. So, step one is finding the personality that fits your voice and yourself, because your characters are a direct reflection of yourself. No matter how crazy, absurd, or whatever else, you'll always find a little bit of yourself in there. And when you put that little bit of yourself into your characters, it makes a world of difference. Now, these three people that I took the liberty of listing are great people to emulate in your voices and in your everyday life. Honest Abe, Martin Luther King Jr. and his awesome integrity, Gandhi for his amazing servant leadership, which Key Club's all about that servant leadership. So I'm not saying make fun of these people. I'm not saying that these people should be put completely aside because we're like, I want to voice act. I don't want to be Gandhi. But I'm telling you, these are some great qualities to put in yourself. And you should put these into your personality, because when you incorporate these, not only in your voice acting, but also in yourself, you'll see a world of difference around you. And by giving your character that little bit of body, you're making them a lot more realistic and a lot more willing to be like worked with around other people. It also helps to make them a little funny, a little over the top, and give them a few faults. People like an underdog. Step two, what makes them unique? Like that funniness, that like, oh, my character likes dad jokes. That's awesome. By the way, love dad jokes. All you have to do is just give them a little quirk. Give them some quirks. Throw a little spice on that. Throw a little paprika on there. Give them a little extra oomph just to make people like it, because no one's going to eat a bland steak. You got to put some butter and some salt on that, or no one's going to eat a salad that's just a bowl of lettuce. Throw some tomatoes, throw some carrots, throw some cucumber, cracked pepper. You got to add a little bit of spice to your life. You can't just make it so bland. And another thing you can do is you can use stereotypes. Stereotypes are a way that you can add, but I wouldn't use it too much, because every single person on this planet is unique. That's what makes everyday life so interesting and amazing. However, some groups act similarly. This regional similarity is how we get our stereotypes. And not all stereotypes are good, and not all stereotypes are bad. But stereotypes are that regional similarity blown to a proportion where it's unhealthy. It's like looking at the bottom right-hand corner of a painting and saying that that's the whole painting. Or it's like looking at a map and saying that, oh my God, half the world is ocean, the entire earth must be water. It's a stereotype that doesn't make sense. It's like a redneck. Everyone thinks the Americans are rednecks, and not all of us are. It's just that 1% that people think represent the whole. So here are some stereotypes, like I was talking about, like Germans and lederhosen. All of Germany isn't a pair of suspenders and brown shorts. Texas and their cowboy attire, it's because they used to be ranchers, not because they're cowboys. Us saying, oh yeah, you betcha, or don't ya know there. People think we're from Canada. We're Midwestern nice. It's not wrong to say that we're goody two shoes nice people that like cheese. It's not mean, it's not nice, but it's that little part of our culture that they're blowing to excess. It's like how even our state different, the Upper Peninsula versus Wisconsin, calling a drinking fountain a water fountain or a bubbler. By the way, water fountain is the right one. And step three is knowing your audience, knowing when to use a stereotype and knowing when to be respectful. Because every time you use a stereotype, you need to remember that you're using something from a culture that isn't yours. Because every culture, those are real people. They're not just numbers. They're not just a funny voice. It's actually something that's going on. So you need to learn to be respectful. And once you're respectful, then you can actually get into the fun part of character building. So overall, we need to apply this knowledge of stereotypes, how they're not all good, they're not all bad, but we need to remember that there's a time and a place for them. And that time and place is not always when we're using a voice. Now, we can use voices to make fun, but I wouldn't suggest it, because making fun can hurt a lot of feelings and you miss out on some really good friends. So I encourage you all to do as many accents as you can, do as many voices, as many characters as you can, and comment below